Right, great. So we are live on multiple platforms right now. Looks like we are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok so far. And let's get those questions coming. Okay, today we're going to talk about work visas. Work visas to the United States, how to get work visas in the United States. So some of the work visas in the United States are very time sensitive right now. We are almost at the end of January. Would you believe it? Oh my God. We started January, we started this year 2 weeks ago, and we are halfway through the month of January. So we are going to try to get as many H-1B registrations and applications in before the due date. So remember, H-1B season starts on season. Application timeline when you can apply is usually April 1st of the year. And because there is a cap, they are only accepting a certain number of applications, usually 3 to 4 times what is needed. So if there is a cap of, say, 60,000 applications, they will accept about 250, from which they are going to select those who can apply for H-1B. So how do you get an H-1B? And by the way, H-1B is not the only option. There are many other U.S. work visas that you may be able to qualify for, but it really depends on your education, your job opportunity. Do you have a job offer or not? The country you come from, because certain countries have also different type of visas that are not available to the rest of the world. For example, Canadians, Australians, okay? So, let's talk about first, how do you get the H-1B? How do you get an H-1B visas? There are H-1B visas that are subject to cap, and there are those that are not subject. Yes, please ask questions. And then there are visas that are not subject to cap. Generally, those with advanced degrees are not subject to cap, and certain other categories, okay? And the H-1B, for those that are subject to cap, you do an initial registration first. If you are picked from that lottery, if your application is picked, then hi Omar, I don't know what you're talking about. So if you are going to get selected from the H-1B, then we are going to proceed with the actual application. You have a short period of time, so it's not advised that you file for the registration without knowing for sure that you do qualify and that you are indeed eligible. So how long does it take for a person to get a work permit? Abdullah wants to know. It depends on the category under which you are eligible for the work permit. Depends on how you are getting the work permit, under which visa. There are some that you could get in a few months, and there are some that might take 2-3 years to get. So tell me more about it, and then I can try to help you out. So guys, if I'm not looking at you directly here or here or here, it's because I'm on multiple platforms and I can't look at 3 places at once. And technological limitations. So I'm going to try to handle all the chat comments from everywhere. Okay. So you have SIJ. If SIJ was already approved, did you apply for, is that your initial application for a work permit and SIJ? Was the SIJ actually approved, or is it still pending? Okay, so tell me more and I'll give you more information, okay? So SIJ, by the way, is Special Immigrant Juvenile, and it is available to those who have a parent who has abandoned, neglected, or abused them. And as a result, they really have one parent or no parent at all, and they are in the United States and need a way to support themselves. The government will allow you to self-petition in that case, or have the one parent that is remaining petition for you. There has to be a way for you to be able to get that court order first. Okay, so Abdullah, if you're going to tell me more how you got the SIJ, or if it's still pending, I'd like to answer your question. Okay, so guys, other work visas. H-1B is not the only option, okay? How long, if your SIJ was already approved, okay? If it was approved, the actual SIJ approved, then you will get a green card. You'll not, the work permit will be part of your green card application. Right now, the processing times are so out of whack. And in some cases, you actually get the green card before you even get the work permit. Generally speaking, at least 7 to 9 months for a work permit, depending on the category. And I don't have it on top of my head for the SIJ. It could be up to 12 months, okay? Tell me when your SIJ was approved. And when you say approved, was it approved by the family court, or was it approved already by USCIS, okay? And then I'll look it up for you. So in addition to the H-1B, all right, there are other categories that are available as work visas, religious visas, okay? Religious visas are for those who are coming from abroad to work here in a church or temple or synagogue or, you know, any religious institution. Then there are other visas available for those from Australia. E3 visas are available for them. For people from Canada or Mexico, if they have certain degrees in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, those people can apply for TN visas. Of course, most, if not all, applications for temporary work visas do require a sponsor. So you need to get an employer first to sponsor you to go through the labor certification process and then file for the I-129, which is your application. Okay, let's see if we have other questions before I move on to the next one. So, all right. So in addition to the temporary options for work visas, you have permanent options that allow you to get a green card based on having a U.S. employer sponsor you. So for that, we need to show that you are not going to take a job away from an American, okay, or from someone allowed already to work in the United States. Okay, so now, let's talk about TN visas. Okay, those are very good. We are in the United States, smash in between Canada and Mexico. So it is good that we can offer opportunities for those people from those countries if they can contribute to our economy. People who have generally engineering degrees, science degrees, teachers, and so on, professors, researchers, they can apply for TN visa. If you are from Canada, you have generally two options to apply. You can apply at the port of entry, most of the time Toronto Airport, where we are. That's where we get most of our Canadian clients, or you can apply at USCIS through a change of status. Because of the processing times really being this long, very, very long right now, we actually apply in both places for the clients. We apply at USCIS if they are already, of course, in the United States. Otherwise, you cannot apply for a change of status. And we also apply at the consulate. If they get that one first, they leave. If they get this one, then they go to that one to the consulate for the US stamping. So let's talk about general classifications for these jobs, okay? In the case of TN visas, we need an employer who is going to sponsor you under one of those professions that is listed, and there is a very specific list of 60 professions. I'm talking Canada mostly. Most of my clients are from Canada. We do get plenty from Mexico as well, but the process is slightly different in Mexico. It takes much longer for those who are abroad to actually come to the United States because they need to apply at the consulate. And the consulates right now are just very, very, very slow. Okay, so the best way for those from Canada is to apply from within the United States if they're already here on some other visa, and apply at the consulate as well. You need the job offer, we need your degree, we need the company's ability to pay, and the contract. Let's see what the contract covers. They need to show how much they are paying you and so on, okay? Then if you are from Mexico, very similar, you just need to apply at the consulate if you're not in the United States. Other visas, okay, H-1B. Okay, H-1B requires that you have a degree. You are applying for a position for which you can get a Department of Labor certification. You have an employer who's willing to petition and pay for you for this process. I'll get to Qatar in a second, okay? So those are generally the options for H-1B. The process is, of course, this is very, very general, guys, okay? So if you need to apply for any of these visas, it's best that you consult with an experienced immigration attorney, okay? There are immigration attorneys who only do family cases, family-based immigration. There are some who only do deportation or removal defense cases. There are some who do a combination of both. There are some who do employment-based or investment-based visa. The immigration law is so vast in the United States that one particular immigration lawyer cannot possibly know all of it in detail. Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Is it practicable? No, not really. You know, jack of all trades, master of none. So let's get to Mandy's question. Okay, how about people who live in Qatar? It really depends on your options. Okay, I will check one thing for you because people discount this option quite a bit from countries from the Middle East. Let me see. Depends on the treaty that we have with the country. And I'll tell you in a minute if Qatar is one of them. You may be able to invest in the United States and come here, open your business and run your business here. I'll tell you if Qatar is an option in a minute. My computer is quite slow when we are doing video, so let's see. And no, Qatar is not one of them, okay? So on the other hand, if you are from other countries, you may be able to do it. Bahrain is one of them, for example, that I know it's there. There are plenty of others. Singapore, I mean, there are 100 and something countries. I don't even know the actual number. And each of them has, okay, yes. So Mandy, I hope you heard me. We do not have a treaty with Qatar. Okay, so that means that you cannot do an investment visa. However, if you have a degree, especially an advanced degree with a master's degree or higher, you might have other opportunities. Okay, so that is the best way for you to find out, for anyone in general, the best way to find out what your options are is really to contact an experienced immigration attorney. Why is that? Because your options have to be individualized to you. They have to be specific to you. And how specific? They have to be as specific as they need to be considering your goals. Do you want permanent or temporary options? Do you want to live in the United States forever or just for a period of time and then go back to your family abroad? What is your education? What is your experience in your field? Have you written papers in your field? Are you well known in your particular field? Do you have an advanced degree, a master's degree, a PhD? Do you have any prior immigration history in the United States, such as perhaps a removal order, a deportation order? Maybe you overstayed your visa. Maybe you are here. Maybe you are abroad. Okay. So it really depends on a lot of those things. And, you know, generally we get so many questions that say, I just want to come here. And how do I do that? Well, how you do that, you're only going to find out, not by Googling. You are going to find out by calling an experienced immigration lawyer. Okay. How long does it take to approve EB-3 labor certification? Just the labor certification part has two things. Okay. Has two steps. One is the prevailing wage part. Okay, so the prevailing wage determination, that could take a few months. And then the perm labor certification, you are looking at least 1.5 to 2 years right now. It is absolutely horrendous how long the government takes for that, okay? So unfortunately, during that period of time, if you are already in the United States, if you are already in the United States, then can you guys tell me if you hear me? Because a couple of people say they can't hear me, especially on TikTok. Please tell me you hear me, okay? All right, let's see. It's nothing wrong with my mic, so I don't know. All right. Where is better to apply for asylum, in Canada or US? Which green card can I get quickly, Canadian or American? It depends. What is your basis for asylum? Oh, thank you for telling me. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure it's not me because I don't want to talk for no reason. Okay, guys? So thank you for getting back to me and letting me know you can hear me. So at least it's only probably Mandy. Okay, so yeah, so where is better to apply for asylum, in Canada or USA? Which green card can I get quickly? There is no such thing as getting a green card quickly anywhere, okay? The faster, it depends on what your qualifications are. Compared to the Canadian system, which I cannot really speak on, okay? Because I don't do Canadian immigration, I only do US immigration. Okay. And like I tell you guys, go see an experienced immigration lawyer. Well, if you want to go to Canada, you want an experienced immigration lawyer in Canada. Yes, we can refer you to someone. So if you give our office a call, then we can definitely refer you. Okay. So our number is 954-466-0070. Okay. We can refer you to someone in Canada. But if you want to come to the United States, you need to qualify to get a green card in the United States or to get asylum in the United States. And asylum in the United States, believe it or not, varies greatly by country you're coming from, where you actually are in the United States, and what your basis for asylum is. Can you show past persecution? Can you show a fear of future persecution? You can have the exact same case and you're filing in Miami, 98% will get denied. You're filing the same case in New York, maybe you have about 50% chance of approval. So it really depends, okay? Which month is active now for labor certification? I wish I could check right now, but when I'm on video, it is so slow, it will never load. You may be able to check that on the Department of Labor's website yourself, okay? All right, let's see if we have additional questions. Let me scroll, make sure I didn't miss any so far. No, we good. Okay, so what's one of the most common questions that we get this time of year, okay, is from those people who are here on student visas on OPT, optional practical training, and you are here on OPT, and your OPT expires in May or June this year. You are about to freak out, and you're freaking out because you don't know what are you going to do once that status expires. You don't know what your options are. You're having difficulty finding an employer who is willing to petition for you. So yes, it's very hard to find an employer willing to petition for you. Yes, it is. First, because it costs them a lot of money to go through the process. There is no guarantee that it's going to be approved. And 3, the employer needs employees now. They don't need in 2 years when the government decides to approve your case. So that is the main reason people are having difficulty finding employers to sponsor them right now. That being said, I see people and I get calls from employers every single day who want to petition for employees. So please do not give up. Keep trying, okay? You might need to find other options to bridge the gap in between. You might need to find a way to go back to school. Maybe you just finished your bachelor's and then you want to go for your master's. Maybe you finished your master's, you want to go for a PhD while you are looking for an employer or while that process is taking place. You might choose to go back to your country for a year or two while the process takes place, okay? You might be dating already someone who's a US citizen or permanent resident, and then obviously you have a few other questions, a few other options, so we can talk about those. Really, 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 it depends on every single person's individual situation, which is why every immigration attorney will require that you book a consultation with them. Even after the consultation, most immigration lawyers will say, I need to review most of your documents. I need to see how long you've been here. I need to make sure that whatever you have done so far is great and you have not violated the terms of your visas. I need to review your credentials. I need to see if the employer can actually pay you. So there are a lot of things that need to happen in order for an immigration attorney to give you the right advice. And obviously, you are never going to get the right advice just on TikTok or on YouTube or just by Googling. You really are not. What I tell you now is general, okay? It's not particular to any person at all because everyone is different. And I tell you this as an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. I have been in your shoes. I've done that. It took me 16 years to get my green card. I know what it's like, okay? But you have to be realistic, okay? So other questions, if we don't have any more questions, we are going to end the live. So let's give you guys another minute or so. And if we don't have any other people we don't have, that's fine. And I think we are coming back on Wednesday with another live. I'm not sure what time. We'll let you guys know, okay? So since we are done here for today, it was good hearing from you guys. I was out of commission for a couple of weeks because of the holidays and I wasn't feeling great, but I'm back so I can answer all your questions. Particular questions, book a consult. General questions, you can always find me on the live and you can always ask me your questions here, but understand that I'm answering a very specific question and I don't know anything about your situation. All right. Awesome. So good to see you guys again, hear from you, answer your questions, and we'll chat soon.